Adam, thanks for taking the time to come on the show. Really appreciate it.
No, I appreciate you having me, man.
So, Adam, I'm not sure many know this, but you're from Melbourne, Australia, correct?
Yeah. So I was born in Melbourne, Australia, and came over to the States when I was about 20 years old, and went to college at Georgia Tech, and then ended up in the NFL. So it's been a cool journey.
So, is American football pretty popular in Australia?
It's definitely grown. I think over the last like probably 5-10 years. But it's still at like a very kind of rec league level. So we really just have a lot of rec leagues around Australia and the different states, and we're able to put together like a national team throughout the country and stuff. But yeah, it's relatively small still.
Cool, cool. So, I was looking at your Twitter, and you have kind of a snippet on your page. Talks a little bit about your journey to the NCAA, and it seemed pretty fascinating. Can you kind of tell me a little bit about that and how that was for you?
Yeah, definitely. So I was about 16, 17 years old, and one of my coaches was, he played in college, and basically he was telling me like, hey, go ahead and just get yourself like a NCAA clearinghouse account. Just do it just in case, like, if you do want to get recruited and stuff type of thing. So I did that, and then, I had to kind of figure out that I needed to go get, because in Australia, our education system's a bit different. So we don't get like a GPA or anything like that. So then once I, was like, okay, I want to get cleared and be eligible for college, I had to go get all my old report cards from my high school. And at this point, I was already out of high school for about a year and a half. So, I had to go back and contact all my teachers from like ninth grade onwards, get all those report cards, get them all scanned and sent over to the clearinghouse. And then on top of that, then I had to go take the SAT, and we don't take the SAT in Australia unless you're trying to get over to a college, and I didn't even know about that. So then it was finding a location in Australia that offers the SAT and going and doing it, and all that stuff. So yeah, it was just a crazy challenge that I kind of had to figure out myself, because we don't have a lot of the programs set up to get you registered and get you cleared to be eligible to receive a scholarship.
Wow, that is a lot of hoops to jump through. I thought it was hard.
Yeah.
I thought it was hard going to college in the U.S., but it sounds like you jumped through a lot of hoops. Kudos to you, man.
Yeah, no, it was definitely a lot of hoops, but it was all worth it. And, my mum was awesome through the whole process. She was helping me a ton and helping me get it all organized and done. So, I got to give her a lot of the props too.
Nice. So you were drafted by the Denver Broncos in the second round. And if I'm not correct, I believe you're the highest ranked Australian player to be drafted into the NFL. So how did that make you feel, initially being drafted? And what was your initial reaction?
Yeah, initially being drafted, I was just super excited, super happy. I put in a ton of work, and that's something that no one can ever take away from you. And you know within yourself what you kind of put into it. So when I got drafted, if it was the second round, the fifth round, the eighth round, whatever, it didn't matter to me. But to be drafted and to be selected, I think it just shows that all that hard work you put in pays off. So that was kind of what went through my mind with that. And then just to be the highest drafted Aussie, it's just awesome to be able to represent my country like that. Represent the type of people that we are back home in Australia, and the hard workers that we are, and that if you do put your head down and work hard, good things will happen. And that's just kind of how I've carried myself, and I feel like that's how I play, and it's very representative of where I'm from.
Yeah. Was it a little nerve wracking being on television? When-
A little bit. Kind of through college, you get a little bit of some interviews and stuff, and some of the cameras, and even that's pretty intense, especially if you're not really used to that, and then all of a sudden you got to go answer questions with 10 cameras in your face and all that. But it's all part of it, and it's awesome that my family got to see me on TV and enjoying that moment. So
awesome. So you were signed in August of this year by the Jacksonville Jaguars to a 1-year deal. I was just kind of curious, what drew you to Jacksonville?
Yeah, so I was coming off an injury from Denver. I got injured late in the year. I think it was like week 13 or 14. I ended up having an ACL and meniscus tear. So for me to get back into playing shape and be able to go by August, I just worked my butt off. And Jacksonville was the team that reached out to me, and they really felt like I could be a good fit for this team and help them. Help stop the run and be able to help rush the passer at times too. So what really attracted me, to Jacksonville was, I had a conversation with the GM. He really liked me. We talked about, at times when he wanted to take me out of college and things like that. Talked about how I'd fit in the defense and how they want me to play and stuff like that. And I just think, it's a young team with a lot of talent. They got a lot of good guys on the roster. And, I just wanted to come back to a place where I know I can, get on the field and do what I got to do. And I think it's a really good fit for me and, the type of player that I am.
So you mentioned there's a lot of young guys in the locker room, especially on the defensive line. In your opinion, how do you feel the rookies are progressing, like Devon Hamilton?
Yeah, I think they're awesome, man. I think D Ham, he's doing unreal, man. To come in this league and be able to play nose tackle the way he's playing is a true hats off to him, and true hats off to Avery Jones as well. He's really taken him under his wing and helped him develop like a true pro should. So it's exciting out there when you see the young guys out there making plays and really doing great things that are helping this team. And he's only going to get better with the more time he spends on the field.
Yeah, he's looking really good. I want to go back to one moment, in week 2, where you had a huge stop in the backfield. You tackled Derrick Henry, who's just a monster. I mean, he's a truck, and you took him down. What was that like? I'm just curious.
Yeah, that's always a good feeling, man. When you got a good running back like that, and you can get a TFL. But again, it's just that's the defense, just playing good defense as a whole. That's me doing my job, everyone else doing their job, and when the play's there to be made, you have to make the play. But to take down a guy like that, he was the rushing leader last year, so if you can get in the backfield and get some tackles for loss on that guy, you're obviously doing some good things. So that's something that you just got to build off, and we obviously play them again later this year, so it'll be nice to get back there and hopefully get another 1 or 2 again.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Last night, obviously, tough loss to the Dolphins. I was just kind of curious, what was your take on the game, and when did you kind of notice the tempo kind of change in the favor of the Dolphins?
Yeah, I felt like, we did pretty good most of the game stopping the run. We let up a couple scrambles with Fitz. He kind of got out on a couple. They hit the one reverse, but other than that, they weren't really doing much in the run game. We had to do a better job of getting to the passer when he was passing. We had to get off the field on 3rd down. I think that was a big issue. A lot of that quick game was just hard to get off the field. At one point, I think it was like 11 for 11. So we got to create some negative plays, and that starts with us up front, getting our hands up, maybe get a tip ball, getting some pressure in his face. So we got to do a better job up front. But it's hard. A team can jump out to a 2-score lead, and then you turn the ball over here or something like that, and you're in a tough spot. So we got to do a better job on defense, getting the ball out, getting turnovers, giving our offense better opportunities, because our offense, when they're rolling, they're rolling. And last night they were running the ball really well. They completed some good passes, and we didn't give them enough opportunities to go down there and score.
So you guys play Cincinnati next week.
Yep.
I'm assuming the outlook or the game plan is going to be getting to Joe Burrow. Kind of what are your thoughts about next week and kind of the strategy for the defense?
Yeah. We got to look at what what the game looked like this week, and we got to make our corrections. That's not like us to go out there and play like how we played. We're better than that. Penalties killed us again. So we got to make sure we're cleaning up a lot of those things, a lot of the details, the fundamentals, the technical aspects, and that's going to help us out. But, we got a young quarterback out there next week. So, for us, it's going to be a big job for us to get in front of him, get our hands on him, create opportunities for our DBs to make plays. Hopefully he can throw us one or two, and hopefully we can play some really good defense and put ourselves in some situations to help out our offense.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing you out there making some big plays too. I know you're involved with the Green and Gold Unite initiative. I saw it on your Twitter. Yep. I just wanted to know a little bit more about that. I was curious. Can you tell me a little bit more?
Yeah, so the Green and Gold Unite initiative I came up with, it would have been early this off season when Australia was going through a lot of those bushfires back home, a lot of the damage to the land and the property and the housing and the towns out there in like rural Australia. I just wanted to help raise some funds and be able to give back a bit. I think I'm in a great position where I can reach a lot of people and gain a lot of support, not just from Australia but worldwide. And I think it was actually really surprising to see so many guys jump on board, and there was a ton of guys in the NFL that jumped on board and donated gear. I think Odell Beckham gave a jersey. Zeke signed a football. A bunch of the Aussie punters all signed jerseys, sent them in. A few Aussie hockey players, baseball player. So a bunch of people got on board and got behind it, and we kind of did like a bit of a online auction. And all the proceeds just went to the fire rescue in Australia. And that's just to help rebuild those communities, help to get people in there to help with all the damage and the wildlife. And, I think it was pretty devastating to see what they went through, and to not be at home and able to help out. I just wanted to do my part from afar.
Yeah, well, I think it's a great initiative, and I'm looking forward to seeing more great things out of that. So kudos to you.
Thank you.
I just want to close out with kind of a personal question of mine. I know you're from Melbourne, Australia, and I know Melbourne's a huge rock and roll town. And I saw some videos of you actually. It was when you were with Denver, talking about music taste, and how you're getting into country. And I was just kind of curious, being at Jacksonville, being in the Jacksonville locker room, are you being exposed to any newer music?
So I actually went to school down here in the South in Atlanta, so not too far from Jacksonville. So when I went to Denver, it kind of got me into the country music a little bit more Midwest there, Midwest vibes. But now being back in Jacksonville, it's a lot more, I feel like a lot more rap, hip hop, R&B, a lot of that stuff. So, I'm enjoying it. I like the music. I like a lot of good music. So, basically whatever's on the radio, I'll enjoy. So.
Yeah, you always got to blast some AC/DC, right?
That's it. I got my favorites, so I kind of hold on to those ones. So they're the game day. That's the game day specials right there.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, hey, Adam, thanks so much for your time, man. I really appreciate it. I'll be rooting for you out there. Looking forward to see what you can do against Cincinnati and the rest of the season. So good luck and best wishes.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you, man.